So today, I purchased something that nobody ever does, at least as far as I can tell in the Pokemon community. We have two of the World Championship decks, specifically from 2022 in London. If you are curious about these, I guess this is a chance for you to learn a little bit about them and what they come with and what makes them special and what makes them not special. If you're curious about the actual people, though, this boy right here, as far as I can tell, I don't usually watch these kind of events, but he was the winner of the Masters Division. Yeah, so he was the champion of the Master Division, and this was the deck that he used with Arceus. However, in the quarterfinals, he actually went up against a Mew deck, and that was this man right here. He obviously lost because, you know, he won the whole thing, but he lost out in the finals with this Mew Vmax deck. So I suppose we will be starting off with this one. So how do I actually open this thing? I'm guessing from the top or bottom is my best method. Now, I've never actually opened any of these decks before, so this is a first for me. I'm mostly doing it out of curiosity. I do own some World Championship cards, but not a full deck. So what is this? This is interesting. It's a pretty thick little pamphlet book here. Okay, so this is kind of about the event itself, it seems. So these are the participating countries. Why does this seem thick? Okay, there we go. So we actually have, okay, so we have the brackets here. So this is the juniors, the junior bracket, the senior, and the masters. Then, yeah, we just have some, like, photos and stuff from the event. This is a pretty cool little inclusion. Oh, and there's our man himself for the second deck there. So it looks like it does go beyond just the card game here when it comes to information in this little booklet. Like, hey, you have like Pokemon Unite, you have the main games, you have the Go, which I don't even know how Go works. I'm guessing it's just the battling. But to me, in Go, the battling was never very interesting, so I never expected it to be a thing that they would do at the, you know, World Championship, but hey, there it is. But not a bad little booklet back here. But yeah, my girlfriend's favorite Pokemon is Mew, so I think she would have killed me if I didn't pick this up. Oh, this is fell at the back. I'm guessing it's just the generic playmat, which, you know, I always hold on to but never really care for. Oh, okay. We actually have a poster on the back of the London 2022. And then on the front, we just have... Yeah, it's not really themed after the deck, but it is a playmat for the World Championship. Interesting. But then we get here into the box itself. I guess we'll start off here with the promos that come inside. So we get a actual coin for the event. If I can get it to kind of focus here. So there's our little Pikachu, the 2022 little icon there. We have a code card. I wonder if these cards are any different in the actual, you know, TCG there. Oh, the backs are interesting. Okay. So these are non-holo Mew Vmaxes, but they have the printed on signature of our player here. And the backs of it are actually purple. I've always seen the World Championship cards with the, like, white backings, so that is interesting. But yeah, we have these two Mew Vmaxes. So that's the thing, you know, I'll go into that a bit later. Then we also get a pin for the London World Champion, what is it called again? World Championship. Yep, there it is. There's the London pin. It actually looks pretty cool. Oh, it actually has a thing on the back. Pokemon official pin. But then the final thing is the deck box, which is super fancy. Like, look at this thing. If you're wondering, it is actually, like, kind of... I'm trying to get in focus here. It is actually, like, textured as well. Like, everything is kind of popping out. So we have the actual player's name there on the side. 22 on the other. But let's open this thing up. Just very, very fancy little deck box. Obviously, we'll be keeping everything in here. So, okay. Kind of weird. It comes with another of that same Mew Vmax non-holo. That card, are all the cards? Yeah, all of the cards have his signature printed on them. That's interesting. But here's where things get a little spicy. You can see, obviously, there were non-holo cards, but then you also have this backing on every single card. So if you're wondering, these are reprints essentially, but they don't hold the value of the actual card. And to my knowledge, from the way I understand it, is you can't use the World Championship cards in actual official tournaments and in official gameplay. You can use these decks to play against friends or whatever, but I don't think you can use them at actual tournaments, and all these cards are going to hold so much less value. Now, of course, as time goes on, some of these cards, like individually, especially like the main featured card of the set, of the deck, could blow up in value as time goes on. People kind of getting more nostalgic for these champions, or like this deck, for example. This guy lost in the quarterfinals, but let's say he goes on to become like one of the best players, and obviously he's really good to already be at that level in the first place. But boss's orders isn't ever a bad thing to have. Let's say he goes on to just win like tournament after tournament. He becomes champion like multiple times or anything like that. I imagine the value of this deck could eventually shoot up. So if you're interested in collecting these things for value, for the most part, there's not really much of a reason to do so, because they are going to gain value as time goes on. I have a couple World Championship cards that actually do have some decent value behind them, but nothing to really write home about. And these are pretty much going to be the same. They could gain value over time, but it's not going to be super dramatic. I am shocked at the amount of course, you have a bunch of energies in here, like, the double turbos, you have the Fusion Strike. The amount of trainers is kind of crazy. Like, you just had the Mew Vmaxes, the Mew Vs, the Genesect Vs, and you have some Moletas and a single Punkaboo. And then it's all just trainer from there. Again, I don't actually play the card game. I've been looking at getting into it and getting into the, I can't think of the word, the Pokemon TCG Live specifically, to kind of learn more about the game, because, I collect and I run a Pokemon channel. It's kind of weird that I don't actually play. But from what I understand, yes, having decks that are 90% trainer cards are just kind of how the Pokemon world do. But hey, there it is, the shape of Mew. I was wondering if they would write that anywhere on the actual deck box. I thought it would be, because they had his name there. I thought they would have it there, but no, it's just 2022. But I didn't notice it. It's right there at the bottom on the front. Interesting. I really like these deck boxes. Honestly, it's my favorite part of this, along with a little information pamphlet. Alright, so let's move on to our champion of the Master Division. So this deck is literally just called ADP. I don't fully understand. But I'm sure it stands for something. If maybe I can find something on it. If I can, which I'm doubtful, if I can find what that actually stands for, I'll throw it up here somewhere. So it does seem to be the exact same little pamphlet that comes in here. I'm probably gonna have a little flip through those later off camera. But then we have our playmat, which I imagine, yeah, it's the exact same thing. And then the coin and the pin are going to be the exact same as well, it looks like. So yep, there again is our pin, and like I said, I don't believe, yeah, it's gonna be the exact same thing. So there is our Pikachu coin. Is that a different effect on the coin? No, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. There's our Pikachu coin. I guess the light just didn't hit it last time, or I just didn't realize it. Not a bad little reflection going on there. But then, if you couldn't already tell, this deck was themed around Arceus Vstar, and of course, there's the signature there on the left. And again, it comes with 2 of those. I imagine it also means there'll be 1 more inside, but there is the code card for this thing. And the backs of these I actually really like. I like that like green effect going on. That's kind of neat. And here is our deck box. I think the purple is a lot more flashy than the green, but the green just feels more like royal. Like it stands out more, even though like purple is the color of royalty. I feel like it's kind of easier to like make out things in the back there, and it looks just more fancy. I really like this green. I'm sure my girlfriend would disagree, but I mean, this is my channel. Oh, yellow inside is interesting. So let's open this thing up, and yes, of course, we have our Arceus Vstar again, because I believe you can have like 3 of any card. So then you have to have your Arceus V, so you can get up to the Vstar. So there's our Arceus Vs, and of course these all just have that green backing. Flying Pikachu Vmax, did not expect that, actually from Celebrations. Interesting. I never really think about some of these cards actually being used in game, but seeing as we have, Celebrations, Flying Pikachu, Vmax, and V in here, that shows that they're actually really useful. Just never really thought about Celebrations having cards that would be useful in the TCG, but it makes sense. So we have the Vstar Decidueye. I'm a big fan of this guy. He's using the Arceus. He's using my Owl Boy. Then we have the standard V version there. Very nice looking card. It's still weird seeing it without the holo effect, but I actually really like it. Like, it looks cool. So we have some standard cards there with the Barrels and the Bidoof. We have the Lumineon V. You have the Punkaboo, the Crobat V. I knew that was really useful because they actually packaged that into the, what was that called? It's like the Trainer's Toolkit. They packed some Crobat Vs into. Boss's Orders, kind of expected that. The way I understand it is that card is useful in pretty much any deck. Same with Professor's Research. We have the Marnie back there. Raihan, Path to the Peak. We have the Quick Balls. We have the Ultra Balls. There are actually 4 of those, so I wonder how that works. And he actually does just have standard energies in here, while the other one did not. So we just have some standard electric energies. We have some standard fighting energies. There is double turbo in here as well, and a single capture energy. Interesting. So if you guys are ever interested in these things, I actually don't think they're too bad to pick up. I paid $16. I imagine that retail is somewhere around there. But you get some interesting, unique cards that, again, the value might not be there, and the value may grow, but it might not. I didn't even realize you have, like, decoration. I assume the other one was like this, too, because it's like what the Pikachu is kind of holding on, like, the pin and the coin? Yeah, he's holding on both, like little flowers on these inside flaps. Like, there is some work and some quality put into these little decks. So if you just want something interesting to add to your collection, these things are not a bad choice, and they're not very expensive. If you collect purely for value alone, again, they're probably not worth it. But I think that they're really cool, and I'm tempted to go pick up the other ones. So you can see his name there on the top, and the name of the deck there at the bottom. These are really unique, and I kind of want to go pick up more. Actually, just like the our other video the other day, we're not going to be doing our bonus card of the day from the standard box. I actually have something specific that we're going to be doing. I keep forgetting to show this on video and to throw it in my thing, so I'm just going to do it here. I'm not going to open it because this actually was my girlfriend who managed to get a hold of this thing, and she doesn't like these things being opened, whereas I do, but it's more hers than mine. Even though our collections are, like, combined. So we have the LeChonk GameStop promo. I don't know exactly how this worked. She did go to GameStop and pick up some card products, and I don't know if that was the requirement for these, or if you could just ask for it and they give it to you. But you have your little certificate thing there. And, of course, I collect stamped cards. I did not know that this card existed, either did she. She just happened to go to GameStop, and they're like, oh, hey, we have these. So as a stamped card collector, I was very happy about her random decision to stop by that day. Because I would have never known that this whole thing existed. But I also didn't even know that this existed. She got this the same day. I don't know if these were, like, a combined thing, like they did both at once on purpose, or it just kind of worked out that way. But surely by the time this video comes out, because I waited so long to even show this on video in the first place, I doubt they're still doing these. I know you can usually pick these kind of things up on, like, eBay if you want to just, like, get the code. But yeah, you can, at GameStop, you could go in and get this Flying Terror type LeChonk. It's a kind of neat little thing. But if you guys enjoyed this video, click that button down below, click the like button, all that fun stuff. And hopefully, I'll see all of you guys next time. Goodbye for now.